What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Healthy for the Holidays workshop, where we're going to address four different areas that I find to be particularly important during the holidays. And I want to give some tips to you in order to stay healthy, to stay happy, and really just to navigate this time that can otherwise be a little bit more complicated due to the nature of holidays, family, the busyness of this season. And so I look forward to walking you guys through this, giving you some helpful tips. And the key takeaway from this is action. How can you take what we're going to talk about during this series and apply it to your life? So let's dive in. The first topic that we're going to talk about for this series, of course, is fitness. Fitness, fitness, fitness. So, as you know, I'm a coach, I'm a fitness enthusiast, and staying active is a non negotiable part of my lifestyle. And I hope that that is becoming more of the norm for you as well. But I want to give you all some tips. Now, when I'm talking with people around fitness for the holidays, a lot of times we are just barely holding it together with fitness during the rest of the year. And so the holidays can kind of pose some extra obstacles and some things that we have to kind of work through in order to be consistent. So the tips I'm going to give you are really going to be helpful for those of you who are maybe in the early stages of making fitness a, consistent part of your routine, where there could be some things that could come up and maybe could like rock the boat a little bit, but just hold tight. I really think that if you get intentional and proactive about your fitness and really make it a priority, try to make it just as important as some of the other things, because it is just as important as some of the other things that are going on during this time, I think you can be successful. Now, a lot of times this is also a season where we start to have body things come up, I guess you could say, as far as maybe not feeling like yourself, maybe being around people who point out changes in your body, make comments about your body, or have contributed to the issues that you may have with your body, and having to be around them during family functions and that sort of thing. So I want to be sensitive to all of that and really just tell you that the best thing that you can do for yourself is to hold off on how shame can kind of deter you from actively working on that during this season. A lot of people just say, I'm just going to like hold tight and I'll start over in January. And I really think that the best thing for you to do is to make it a priority, continue making it a priority right now. Okay. Do not wait until January. Do not wait until a later date. Set your mind and be intentional that I'm going to make this a priority right now. Like this week, today, I'm going to be intentional and be proactive about incorporating fitness into my lifestyle, because that is what the end goal is, right? So, my tips for this: if you are working out now and it's feeling okay, or maybe it's a little rocky at certain points, I want to set you up for success. And the first thing that I would say is that community is really going to help you thrive during this time. Okay. So, what does that look like? That looks like planning buddy workouts. That looks like in welcoming the people that maybe aren't around the rest of the year, to inviting them into your world. You know what I mean? So many times we can kind of go into their, go into how our family does things, or if someone else is kind of, taking a break or off track, we kind of tend to lean in to what other people are doing. And I want to encourage you, welcome people into what you're doing. Like, hey, I've been working out 3 times a week. I've been taking walks several times a week. Why don't we go for a walk instead of X, Y, and Z? Why don't we join the class that I usually take instead of, some of the other activities? Not saying that you can't do those activities, but more or less just opening the conversation up for people to join you in your world. So, buddy workouts is a great way to do that. Um, Going on walks with your friends and family to catch up and to connect, rather than making a situation where, the usuals: going shopping, going to lunch, coming over, hanging out. All great things, but also fitness can be a part of that, right? Another thing that I would suggest is group workouts. It is so hard if it's already busy and you're already stressed, and maybe you're overwhelmed, maybe you're having some fatigue. It is really hard. It is harder, I'll say. It's harder to muster up the energy and the determination and the discipline to just make up your own workout or just to do your own thing. All right. So this is not a season where doing your own thing is really what I would recommend. I think group workouts, having some sort of accountability outside of just your internal motivation is going to be beneficial because, again, obstacles are going to come up. You're going to have some motivation, you're going to have some determination with that. I believe in you for that, but also having some external things that are kind of encouraging you to stay in that maintenance phase of everything is going to be important. So, plan buddy workouts, invite people to go walk with you, plan events, do things that are active. You know what I mean? Maybe it's going on a hike, maybe it's signing up for a 5K walk run, and making it a thing, make it a thing, or invest in or join some group fitness classes. That way, at least all you got to do is show up and somebody else is telling you what to do, and all you have to do is just complete it. Okay. Number two is going to be opting for shorter workouts. I'm not sure exactly what you all are doing at this point, but a lot of times when people think of working out, they think that it needs to be hours in the gym. And by hours, I mean a full hour, 5, 6 days a week. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to just stay with my routine and I'm just going to, plow through. I would actually recommend proactively, maybe even deciding that you're going to pull back on the time spent so that it's doable. Okay. So if you set yourself up with an unrealistic frequency or length of time to work out, and then you have other things and other stressors come up, it's going to be just as hard, just that much harder to actually maintain your workout routine. So I would say, let's say, for example, you have been doing 4 to 5 days a week for an hour. You could set right now that my non negotiable, my bare minimum. Now, if I have a good week, I will continue the 4 to 5 as usual. But if I hit something that is unusual, unexpected, a lot going on, juggling a lot of hats, I'm going to commit to 3 30-minute workouts per week. All right, y'all, that's 90 minutes. 90 minutes in the whole entire week to move your body and take care of yourself. This is important. Having a non negotiable bare minimum is important because when we completely take off, and don't do anything, we're really kind of setting our bodies up and our minds too to have a harder time getting back to it. So if I completely let my schedule go and I don't work out because I can't get the usual 4 to 5 in, now my muscles are going to be weaker when I start back. I may start to have different ailments going on that were being supported by the muscle that I had built and the flexibility and the mobility stuff that I had been doing. And so keeping that 3 days a week for 30 minutes helps to kind of just keep things in a rhythm until you can get back to whatever it is that you ultimately strive to achieve. So that's what I would recommend. If you know you're going into a season where there's going to be a lot going on, go ahead and say my bare minimum, my non-negotiable is going to be 3 workouts a week, 30 minutes. That could be walking, that could be yoga, that could be a class, that could be something you do at home, that could be going to the gym. It really could look a lot of different ways, but that's a mindset. I'm making it up in my mind. I'm going to decide those couple of days that would be best for that, and I'm going to give that to myself. All right. And if we went a little further, I would also recommend doing this in the morning time. If you already have a morning time routine of working out, perfect. If you don't, it might be helpful to move these 30-minute workouts to the morning time because we know how the day goes. You say, oh, I'm going to stop and I'm going to do it over my lunch. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to do it right after work. And the next thing you know is 9 p.m. and that 30 minutes has just somehow gone missing. So doing it in the morning, maybe even doing a couple in the morning during the week, and then opting for a weekend workout where things are a little bit more flexible. Any of these options can really help you optimize your time. But again, it starts with the mindset of my baseline is this, I'm committed to this. Even if it doesn't look perfect, I'm going to follow through. Number 3 of my suggestions is to get active with your loved ones. And I kind of referenced this on the first one of inviting people into your world. Okay. I don't know about your family, but my family likes to sit. We like to chill. We like to take off. We like to relax. We're watching movies. We're watching the holiday movies and all that kind of stuff. We're eating, of course, but what would it look like for you to get active with your family? Okay. If you have kids, What would it look like to take them to something active? Run off some of that energy, right? You run off some of that energy, they run off some of that energy. It's wins all around, but welcoming your family into something active with you. I'm thinking that could be hikes. I know I mentioned signing up for a 5K walk and run and making it a thing. That could also be, after a meal, and spending, time, communing with other people. It could be, let's go for a walk. You know what I mean? We can talk and we can walk and we can kind of just get moving after the meal. That's an easy way to kind of still incorporate some of your physical activity that you're already going to be doing, but kind of bringing it into the world that we all know that we're actually going to be in. Okay. So some other ideas actually, skating. I have planning an active outing, skating, an escape room even. I know it doesn't seem like that, but think about an escape room. Your adrenaline's high, you're going to this side, you're going to that side, you're trying to find something, y'all. That's active movement. Okay. It may not be a workout, it may not be a strength training session with dumbbells and barbells and high intensity sweating, but that actually still is movement and getting up. You know what I mean? And using your body in a different way. This could be bowling. This could be putt putt. It could be golf. It could be really whatever active outing you want to plan, and then welcoming your family into it can kind of help it not seem like you're taking away from the time or that you're veering off of the schedule that everybody else is in, but like actually intentionally planning for that to be a part of what you actually do. Okay. The another thing that I would say, fourth thing I'll say is give yourself credit for staying active, even if it doesn't look like how you want it to. All right. For whatever reason, for a lot of reasons, this time of year, we can be extremely hard on ourselves. We set goals for January, and then now all of a sudden it's the end of the year, and we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't necessarily follow through on everything that I wanted to. And we start to beat ourselves up. Okay. You combine that with some holidays that are centered around food. You combine that with being around family members who may have their 2 cents to say about what you do or what you don't do, or maybe you're going to see people that you haven't seen in a long time and you know that you changed or you feel like you've changed, whatever the case may be. It's going to be really important for you to give yourself credit for whatever forward movement you have been able to make between the beginning of the year and now. Now is not the time for the shame talk and the negative body image, self-talk to come in and start continuing to double down on the things that you didn't do. Now is the time to say, I have lived this year to the best of my ability with what I've had going on mentally, physically, financially, work wise, everything. That you have to believe that you have done your best up until this point. Give yourself that grace, give yourself some credit, and be okay with even this part of it. Like I said, with coming down from maybe your 4 to 5, if that's what you've been doing 45 days a week, coming down to 3 is still moving. You are still moving forward. You know what I mean? And it may not be exactly what you would have as your ideal, but it's something, and that's going to set you up for success once the holidays are over with and things start to settle in a different way. And the last thing that I'll say is do not compare yourself to people on social media. I know that that's like a shoe in, a given, a cliche, but you're going to see a lot of fitness influencers, maybe even people, you know what I mean, that are going to be, pushing through and going hard on their fitness and physical goals during this time. It is a season where a lot of fitness coaches will be kind of promoting some things going into January, and that is totally okay. But y'all, let's not take that personal and make it a situation where it leads to shame and embarrassment and beating yourself up about what you did or didn't do. Okay. Do not compare yourself to these people. See this as an opportunity for you to stay mindful and stay intentional and be consistent with the goals that you're going to set. But try to understand that there are going to be people that this is that they have maybe been in the lifestyle a little bit longer, things come a little bit easier to them, and it's not to be compared to. I want you to get the motivation, get the inspiration, get the accountability from whatever you may see, and then the rest of it, you've got to just leave it. Okay. So get what you need out of it and then leave the rest Don't let it be a situation where you are taking what is meant for motivation or inspiration and making it something to feel shame around. Okay. So those are my 5 tips for fitness. I'll go through them again. All right. So if you're trying to figure out how am I going to be successful during this season where things are busy, there's going to be different events and holiday things and stuff that are going to be unusual for the for your usual flow of life. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to plan buddy workouts and you're going to incorporate group fitness workouts into your routine. Okay. This is for accountability. This is for the energy of it. We can feed off of other people's energy and their discipline. Sometimes when we don't have it ourselves, we can kind of buddy up with someone who we know is going to be able to show up for us or can at least help meet us halfway with staying consistent. All right. That could be, again, buddy workouts, group fitness classes. If you don't want to think about or don't have time to think about what you're going to do and you just need a plug and play, is what I call it. You go to a group fitness class, the workout is done for you, the music is there, the equipment is there, people are there, and let all of that kind of help you stay consistent as you move through this season. The next thing is to opt for shorter workouts, right? So again, you may not be able to stay to your normal routine, but you're going to try to find a non-negotiable, bare minimum amount of physical activity that you can commit to. You're going to schedule that in. All right, we're going to get our calendar out just like you're getting your calendar out to plan travel. Your calendar is booked up with travel and whose house we're going to for this holiday and whose house we're going to for that one. Maybe your holiday parties are already set. You're getting invites for that. Well, I want you to send yourself an invite for your 30-minute workouts 3 days a week so that you can stay consistent. Make those things just as much a part of the holiday season as anything else. All right. The next thing, again, getting active with your loved ones. Bring other people into your world. Okay. This is a lifestyle. This is not something that you have built up or are working toward just to let it go by the wayside because life happens. This time of the year happens every single year. Eventually, you're going to have to master how to incorporate your life, your loved ones, your friends, other things that you have going on into the healthy lifestyle that you have. Your life is just as important as the other things that are going to be around you during this time. Welcome those people in. Invite them to join, encourage them to join, be an influence on the people around you to make healthier decisions during this time. Next, again, is to give yourself credit and allow for grace during this time. If you have made any strides forward, if you have followed any challenges or done anything between the beginning of the year and now that has contributed to your personal health, you must give yourself credit for that. Okay. Minimizing those accomplishments, forgetting about them, saying that they're not enough does nothing to help you move forward. And this season is all about setting yourself up for success once the holidays are over with. And then lastly, no comparison. All right. I want you to say this right now with me. I will not compare myself to other people, to other bodies, and especially not other fitness content that is on social media. All right. You take it as motivation, you take it as inspiration, and then you move forward with the intentional, proactive plan that you have already decided for yourself. Okay. So those are my 5 tips. Please be sure to take this information, apply it to the worksheet that's going to accompany this video. I pray that you are successful in whatever goals you set. Remember, make those realistic for what you know you have going on coming up, and leave room for celebration in that as well. So follow the worksheet, make sure you have an intentional and proactive plan, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.